What is up, everybody, and welcome into another episode of the Uptempo Podcast. I'm your host, Blake Lane, and here tonight with my co-host, Dustin Smith. Like always, Dustin, man, we're here to talk a little Auburn basketball. But first, before we get into that, we just want to thank all of our followers and listeners, and especially let's throw a special thank you out to the War Report and those guys over there, and Ike Jones himself, man, for coming on and doing an interview with you earlier in the week, Dustin, and just the video took off, Dustin. All right, it took off, man. Our most viewed video on the YouTube channel so far, and we've done just a handful, honestly. So it was major, man, and subs grew and everything. And we just appreciate each and every one of you who get on here and listen to our Auburn sports takes. We're just two guys that watch a lot of Auburn sports, and we just like talking about it, man. And look, we're not going to get on here and sunshine pump and just just pump you up about Auburn. Well, we're going to be honest on here, and we're going to tell you how we really feel. And we just really appreciate Ike for coming on here, and we can't wait to have everybody over at the War Report on here. We want to talk spring football. We want to talk basketball. We want to talk everything that they are willing to talk. So big shout out to those guys. And Dustin, man, I just wanted to get your thoughts on that interview, what it meant to just having another Auburn guy here with you, another Auburn podcast, and just talking to them and just picking Ike's brain, man, and about Auburn spring football.
Well, it was a nice switch up. We've been talking a lot of baseball. Baseball just got started up, and we love it, and we love basketball too. But it was nice to get in there and finally talk about some Hugh Freeze football, because the last time we talked about football, it wasn't all that fun. So it's nice to be back to having optimism, and looking and just talking about. That's the thing I love about Ike, man, is he is a ball nerd. He gets in there. He really breaks down the film. He really knows what he's talking about. Anything you ask him about, he's quick with it. He's right on it. And all those guys over there, Mike G as well, they've been really supportive of us. They've been very kind to us behind the scenes. They've been very helpful. All those things are really appreciative. And here's the thing about that, bro. It's indicative of the Auburn family. It's what the Auburn family is all about. I'm not surprised by it. 31 years old, been involved with Auburn one way or another my entire life, and it just never fails, man. It's a great thing. So all love to those guys out there at the War Report, and we look forward to having them on and talking to them again soon. Look forward to working with them in the future, and really appreciate them.
Great stuff, Dustin. Great stuff. It was a great interview. It was awesome, man, and love the football talk. So can't wait to have those guys back on. But Dustin, man, let's throw it up in here and let's put it out let's put it all out on the table, man. This heartbreaking loss, 90-85 in Tuscaloosa, man. It was one of them that just really hurt down right in here, man. One of those that just left you beside yourself, man. Them heartbreakers, just. I don't want to quote Harvey Updike, but felt like somebody just stuck their hand in your chest and ripped your heart out, man. It hurt, man. It hurt. It was just one of them. You know how when you lose a close game like that, like I went back to the Final Four, man, and that game where I just sat on the couch and like I just sat there. And I was like, I looked over at my phone and kind of just like, and it just felt like that, man. I was just in a bad mood, and then I had to get on social media and listen to, get the brooms out and all that. It hurt, man. Just give me your initial thoughts on it, and just everything that went down last night. I know the officiating was just, whatever. I'm sick of it. It was piss poor, but man, just. Everything that went down, the run that Alabama made, Auburn being up 17. Let me hear it, Dustin.
It was a heartbreaker. It, like you said, it's just one of those that's in the pit of your stomach. It was the first thing I thought about when I woke up this morning. I don't know what that says about me. Like Harvey said, I guess I got too much Auburn in me. It's just too much Auburn in me, man. It bugged me all day. We got to work, and there was a finished house where they got the shower was broke, so we had to take the whole shower out. And I told the guys, get out the way, man. I'm busting up the drywall. I'm yanking that thing out. Had a lot of aggression and frustration to take out. And here's the thing about it, buddy. It hurts because these players flawed. This team is flawed. on the court, but I'm not questioning their effort. I'm not questioning how hard they work behind the scenes. I'm not
Yep.
questioning how much heart they put into last night. Katie left it all on the floor.
Yep.
Those guys did everything they got. We'll get into the officiating. That's why the officiating part of it is so frustrating, is because you're giving it everything you got, and then against a team that's already better than you, and you have to fight that battle as well. That's what's
Yep.
so frustrating with that. But guys like Dylan Carwell that give their all to Auburn, that go to the soccer games and take their shirt off and wave it and get the fans pumped up. That's at every football game, supporting the team. You know, that classic picture of him yelling with Derek Hall in the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
Guys are Auburn men, and I love them and I appreciate them, and I know they gave it everything they had. And uh, this Alabama team is significantly better than us, and we probably should have won both games. So is that indictment on us? Yes, but I think it also can tell you how good your coach is, because I don't like I love these players, but
Yeah.
Alabama is significantly more talented than us. Their players are much better than our players on the court.
Mm-hmm.
And I like our guy's character a lot more. I think that showed last night as well. I think
Mm-hmm.
you saw what coach had control of his team and what coach doesn't. So that might not be that might not mean so much this season, but I think in the long run, we're the healthier program still. They got us this year, and full credit to them. All the stuff that goes on off the court, that is what it is. I'm not a fan of it either. I'm not a fan of the way they conducted themselves last night. I thought it was quite funny that Flan got a technical for blowing a kiss the first time we play him, but that wasn't that game, correct? Bama
That
game.
was that was Texas A&M game.
Okay, well, excuse me on that, but
Yeah.
I think it's funny that Flan would get a technical for that in SEC officiating, and then it was probably 4 or 5 times that how do you say his last name? Queerly,
Quinterly. Yeah.
Quinterly,
Javon Quinterly.
yeah, 4 or 5 times he drove the lane, and he had a good night. All props to the way he played, but he drove the lane, and with the ref standing right there, I saw what he said like several times. And again, listen, I'm with that. Okay, that's the way that I grew up playing basketball. Never played on the D1 level, not claiming nothing like that, but just that's the way that we played sports growing up. So I have no problem with that. What I have a
Yeah.
problem with is the inconsistency in officiating, because I feel like if our guy would have laid it up on somebody and then looked at him and said "F you," you know, B word.
Yeah.
I mean, he said it's a lot of colorful things because the camera
Yeah.
was right on him every time. Yeah, I just feel like we probably would have got the tech. I think it's interesting when Janai gets grabbed and tossed
Mm-hmm.
out of bounds and gets the ball tossed out. And I'm not gonna make a big deal about the ball toss. It looked bad with him throwing him out of bounds. He's trying to throw the ball off of him.
Yep.
I get that, but still, that's not a foul on Janai.
Dustin, you know what got me about that play though? It wasn't so much him throwing the ball off of Janai. It was the fact that he kind of stood over Janai.
Right.
That is what kind of got me.
So
And
yeah.
to your point, like Flan blowing a kiss or a guy saying, "Hey, too small," that draws a tech, but Quinterly standing over Janai doesn't. Come on, man.
Yeah, and I don't want those things to be techs. Because I'm cool with trash talk. I think it makes it great. To be honest with you, I know why, you know, obviously you have to control it and you can't let like the scuffle happen and all that. But I have no problem with any of that, bro. It's a
Yeah.
rivalry. Their students Jackson was chanting "FU Auburn." I'm cool with it, man.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome that we got that atmosphere last night. Basketball
Absolutely.
matters in the state of Alabama. We're furious that we got swept.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna have to clap back. We're gonna have to come back next year. So yeah, that's it, just the atmosphere and the overall like level of intensity. I mean, would you have dreamed of this 5, 6, 7 years ago that we would
Man.
be having that kind of matchup, and then go back to the you know, the atmosphere you had in Neville? We said at the time, everybody else was saying at the time, that was one of the craziest. What did
Yeah.
the decimal level reach? Like 130 in there in a
Yeah.
9,000 seat arena? Like that
Insane.
atmosphere. Yeah. So you saw the passion. You saw everything of why this rivalry is the best rivalry in sports on display last night. And just as a sports fan, that was cool. So I'm cool with that part of it.
Absolutely, man. And look, I'm still officiating didn't lose us the basketball game, but I'm still sitting here scratching my head on the Jonah box out, man. Where was the foul on Jonah? All right. I'm still sitting here scratching my head how you call a foul on Joe Nye on the Quinterly play. I don't know, man. Like, I honestly believe we're at a time in sports, and I will keep pounding this and pounding this, that officials need to go to a podium after the game and answer questions, because I want to know, where was the Joe Nye contact on that box out? There wasn't. There wasn't contact. I can tell you what happened. You inadvertently blew a whistle and just said, I got to call a foul on somebody. All right. Joe Nye never touched anybody. All right. I'll bring up another one. Jalen Williams in overtime when he fouled out, Dustin. All right. I think it was Bradley for Alabama who went up and under, and Jalen, minimal body contact. Even if that's what you want to call it, that the foul was on, there was no contact. All right. They just blew a whistle and said, oh, it looked like contact, so I'm going to blow my whistle. All right. Jalen never touched him. I got the replay on my phone, man. I zoomed in, tried to look for contact. There's nothing there. I don't get it. And what do you see in these moments? That's all I want. I just want an explanation, man. But one thing with all of that, though, the officiating and how bad it was, at the end of the day, as Auburn fans, we have to stop blaming officials every time we lose a close game. Oh, well, the officials, they didn't call this, they didn't call that. It sucks. It does, because I'm sitting here last night going, hey, there's no way he called that a foul. All right, there's no way. There was no contact there. But that's also why we didn't lose the game. We lost the game because we shot 62% from the free throw line and we had 18 turnovers. Okay, that is why we lost the game. All right. Yes, did Joe Nye Broom leave the game with 10 minutes left? Yeah, that killed us. That really kind of sparked their run. They knew that they could go down low. They knew that Auburn couldn't match up with size. Then Dillon goes out, and it was just a disaster from there. Auburn was just getting crushed on the boards, and I don't know, man. It was one of them that'll kind of stick with you for a little while, because let's be honest, man. You said that the talent doesn't match up. They're much more talented, which is correct. All right. But Auburn outplayed Alabama
twice.
For a majority of both games. They outplayed them. And for you to have a 17-point lead last night, you have to find a way to close that game out. And one thing that we always get, Dustin, is an Auburn team in the second half going on a stretch where it's 5, 6, 7 minutes without a field goal. And it happened last night, Dustin. And that is the reason Alabama went on the run that they did and got back in the ball game, and eventually forcing overtime, man. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just one of them that I'm telling you, man, it's sticking right here. It's one that hurts.
Yeah, they went on a 17-0 run. And you shoot 62.5% from the free throw line. You light it up from three. If you tell me before the game you're gonna shoot that from three, I'm like, oh boy, we're gonna win the game.
What did we hit? 12 threes?
I believe so. Yeah. I mean, it was.
Auburn hits 12 threes, Dustin, and you lose. What?
Yeah, because I thought KD was great. I thought that KD should have took the last shot. Yeah, we shot 60% from 3-point right there on the bottom. I thought KD should have shot the last shot, but he also missed several free throws, and he's shooting in the low 60s in conference play. He's got to be better than that. And like I talked about opening this podcast, I know KD's working in the gym. I know he's working hard in his off time, trying to get his release point higher. They've talked about it. I know KD's putting in the work, but you got to hit your free throws, man. You got to hit your free throws in a game that you lose, that goes to overtime. If you just shoot 70%, you win this game. And how many times this year, how many times going back to that Final Four loss versus West Virginia? Yeah, I have a Virginia double dribble T-shirt, but that doesn't even have to matter if Jared doesn't miss that free throw. So this is something that, and this is just haunted Auburn forever. New rosters, new coaches. This free throw thing is wild. It's really crazy. But it reared its ugly head again last night, and 18 turnovers on the road isn't going to do you any good either. And yeah, once Janai went out, it was all, when we were in that super small lineup with Chris Moore at the 5 and Leor at the 4. I thought those guys. Uh, I love the effort, man. They played really hard, and you're just battling. Justin Ferguson from the Auburn Observer, he put out an article today. I wish I had it in front of me. I should have wrote the notes down. But he talked about just how crazy it was, how the whistles all went to one side as soon as the game got tight. And I promise, I'm sitting there texting my brother and my dad saying, "It's coming, it's coming. Here it comes. They're not going to let us win this game." Like you know it, you feel it. That's the thing that really stings about that. And I think that Brew. Have you ever seen BP more pissed off?
I have not. He had every right to be. I don't care what side of the fan base you're on or whatever. If you're an Alabama fan, Auburn fan, the dude had every right to be pissed off, and we can talk about it right now. He let Andy know. He let the world know, man, that he's sick of it. The calls that you have not got, the Tennessee game and just the Texas A&M game and the way that one was officiated, and just now this one. And what if this keeps you out of the tournament, Dustin? What if it keeps you out of the tournament? What if you go in Saturday and you can't get that one, and you look back at this and just say, man, that call at Tennessee, that no call, all right, where they didn't give Wendell the opportunity to land on the game winner. I mean, just I don't know, man. Like I'm not mad at Bruce one bit. I think this needed to be said.
Yeah, it's part of it. And listen, go back to that Virginia game, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was classy. I thought he handled himself well. That after that A&M game this year, he made mention of it, but he was classy.
Yep.
He handled himself well. Yeah, he just had enough, and he knew how much that game meant. And it's just hard to justify some of them calls, man. And at the end of the day, again, not the reason we lost. If we make the free throws, if we don't commit 18 turnovers, then that doesn't happen. So it's on us. It's on us. But yeah, when it continues to happen this way, like you just gotta hope sometimes you get the whistles,
Mm-hmm.
But it's just been all year. We have every time these 50-50 calls, and that's where the frustration goes. And Bruce is sticking up for his guys, so I'm with it. And here's the thing, too, I want to say,
Yeah.
you Bama fans that are talking about him throwing the headset. Knowing who your head football coach is, that is comical.
Absolutely. 100%, man. I feel like he does it 3 times a Saturday. So, look, let's talk about the final shot, man. Wendell Green Jr. All right, he did get a good look. I was, a 15-foot jumper, and it almost went down. Let's be honest, it almost went down, but almost isn't good enough, Dustin. And like you said, I heard you mention that you thought KD should have got that shot. I said Jalen Williams. I thought Jalen Williams should have got that shot. Man, how many times do we have to watch this? And what are your thoughts on Bruce not using a timeout there and setting something up?
I just don't like it because, like you said, how many times you got to see it?
Yeah.
Going back to last year with Walker Kessler and Jabari Smith on the floor, Wynn was still our close it out late game option. And
Mm-hmm.
I love Wynn. I think that Wynn plays great and undersized and, gives it everything he's got. Wynn's a good player.
Mm-hmm.
He just hasn't hit that shot over 2 years now. He just hasn't hit that shot. So I don't know how many more times you got to go with it to see, to see it. And people are like, well, we're not running a play at the end. Or it's a play. It's a high ball screen but it's not an effective play.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the reason I want it to be KD is because I don't know if KD is going to make the shot or not, Blake.
Yeah.
His shooting percentages are what they are. But for one, if I go back to a Missouri game last year, he closed that game out. I believe that it was on the road, He closed that game out. We won 55-54. He was money down the stretch. And there was another game last year. I want to say it was Georgia. I know Wynn hit the late layup versus Georgia
Yeah.
on the road, but there was another game as well. KD closed out last year, and then he's done it before. And the main thing is he's not scared of it. That's the thing. He's not scared of it. Makes it or not, I don't know, but I know that he's not going to be afraid to pull that trigger, and he's honestly, I'm starting to wonder why we always settle for a shot away from the basket in that moment. Maybe KD goes to the hole and maybe he just makes one of the free throws. But I like that option better than when taking a shot, falling away from the basket or 15, 20 feet away. He hasn't hit it, bro. Yeah. And maybe if Janai's in the game there, it gives you an option to go down low. I don't know. But yeah, it just hasn't been effective. And here's the thing about KD too. You take the good with the bad with KD, right? So the bad is when he's not feeling it, he can go 0 for 14 like he did versus Texas A&M in the SEC tournament last year. We've seen the bad. But when he's good, he shot 100% from the three-point line last night.
Yeah.
I don't know if that continued to overtime, but I know he did in regulation. So you got to take the good with the bad. When he's hot, when he's cooking, when he's eating, feed him. Yeah. Take advantage of it.
Yeah, I agree 100%, Dustin. And man, you gotta win. You gotta win Saturday. This is everything it leads to. Joe Lunardi still has you in the last 4 buys. And you're barely hanging on in there. You got to win Saturday, man. Look, no Ziegler for Tennessee. He tore his ACL. That is devastating news for the Volunteers. Just prayers up for him, man. Yeah, just absolutely hate to hear it. But I believe this is a winnable game. I think that you're at home and the way you played against Alabama, I think there is a lot to look up to. And you know, this student section, even though it's the spring break deal and everything, look, this place is going to be bananas, man. You're fighting for your NCAA tournament lives. What do you think happens Saturday as the Tennessee Volunteers make their way to town?
It doesn't look like Dylan can go. And if Dylan can't go, I saw him not being able to play. He was sick last time we played him in Knoxville, and he wasn't able to go. And I thought it made a huge impact on the game. We lost by 3 points. I thought we got out physical, and his physical presence makes a huge difference with that big Ivan Drago looking bro they got over there. I don't even know that dude. Remember his name? But I ain't gonna try to say it. But he's a problem, and he's a big physical monster, and he ain't scared to mix it up. So, and that's not necessarily Janai's specialty. So yeah, I'm missing Dylan's going to really hurt, and I'm going to stand by what I said versus Ole Miss or after the Ole Miss game. I don't think we're going to win another game this year.
Wow.
And I still mean that. I still think that. I don't think that we're going to get blown out. I know that we're going to come in and play hard. I think that we're going to be okay. But we'll see, man.
Look, Dustin, I'm going to take us to win this game. All right, I think you're going to see an Auburn team that is fighting for their life, and Bruce Pearl motivating this team Saturday to go out in front of their home fans and get a dub. All right, I know we're going to be shorthanded, but I really think KD Johnson playing the way he did the other night, if we can get that performance out of him Saturday, if he can give us 15, 20 plus, man, Allen Flanagan stay hot, Jalen Williams, Jonah Broom, just keep pounding, man. Keep pounding down low. Keep playing your game. I think you can get a win against Tennessee, man, without Zaire Ziegler or whatever his name is. It's a tongue twister, man. But without him, I think this is a game that you can get at home, man, and this can get you into the NCAA tournament. So I'm excited for this Auburn basketball team, man. I'm pumped for them. I think this could be the one, man. This could be the one that you get at home in front of your fans, and what a way to go into the SEC tournament. And look, I think you got to win your first round game in the SEC tournament. I think that would be a big boost, and that could possibly get you to a 9-8 seed, maybe, just depending on how it falls, man. So, yeah, I'm excited about Saturday, man. I'm not mad. And look, for all the Auburn fans out there, all right, for all the Auburn fans, stop with I don't even want to go to the tournament anymore. All right. Don't do that.
Come on
Don't do that. I'm tired of seeing it on social media. Just stop with that. That is blasphemy. All right. Blasphemy. You always want a ticket to the dance. All right. Because if you get a ticket, you got a chance to win a national title. All right. If you don't get a ticket, you're going to the NIT. All right. So be thankful for the ticket. All right. Be thankful. All right. So get a win Saturday, and that's it, man. You're in. If you win Saturday, you're in. All right. Dustin, man, before we hop out of here, I'm gonna leave you with the floor, man. Give your final thoughts on everything Auburn sports, man.
Look, I hope I'm wrong. I gotta see it to believe it at this point. We still lost the game. We're not playing good basketball. I hope I'm wrong. It's not. If I had to put a percentage on it, I would say Tennessee 55, us 45. Mm-hmm. Like I would, I don't think we don't have any chance. I got to see it, man. And now I'm really worried with not having Dylan. We can't touch on it tonight. But baseball, shout out, 10-run rule win, 18-8. Keep rolling, guys. Look forward to the series this weekend. Softball ladies win 11-0, and y'all know that we'll have a full recap of that baseball series on Sunday. And man, love the subscriptions growing. Everybody check us out. Like the video, subscribe to the podcast if you haven't. It's all love, and we got more big time guests lined up.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say his name just yet. All right, I'm not gonna say his name.
A couple now.
Yeah, a couple now,
but a bit first for us.
Oh yeah, first, and I'm not gonna say his name just yet. So y'all, you will have to tune in and hey, look, War Damn Eagle, everybody. All right, hang with us. Saturday's a big one, and with that, we're gonna hop out of here, and we will catch you on the next one. We're out.